All right, so you're gearing up for a health and safety engineer interview, and we're going to do a deep dive into RoleCatcher's resources.
Yeah, think of this like your secret weapon.
Oh, I like that.
It's going to help you go beyond, that basic interview prep and really uncover what those interviewers are looking for and how you can make your skills shine.
I love that. So let's start with the basics. What exactly do health and safety engineers do? I mean, it's more than just hard hats and checklists, right?
Oh, for sure. It's way more than that. They're kind of like designers, but with this safety focus.
Hmm.
They blend engineering and safety practices to make sure that people who are using the objects or working within the programs they design are protected from hazards.
So it's like understanding the technical side, but then also having that human element of keeping people safe.
Exactly. Think about things like hazardous materials, ergonomics, dealing with all that dangerous stuff. It's a pretty big deal.
That's a huge responsibility.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of the interview.
Yeah.
What are some questions that might come up?
Well, one of the most common ones you'll hear is, tell me about a time you identified a potential safety hazard and how you addressed it. They really want to see, your problem-solving skills in action.
Okay, so how do you even begin to answer something like that? It seems pretty open-ended.
Yeah, so this is where the STAR method comes in handy. Situation, task, action, result.
Okay, I've heard of that.
It's a really great way to structure your answer so you hit all the key points. Let's say, for example, you're on a construction site and you spot a ladder that's not secured properly. That's your situation.
Okay, makes sense.
So your task is to make sure that ladder is safe. What action did you take? Maybe you stopped work, immediately talked to the crew, this is the supervisor, and then you all figured out a safe way to secure it. And the result? Everyone can continue working, but now it's a safe environment.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then what about those follow-up questions, like those tricky ones, like what challenges did you face?
Oh, yeah, you got to be ready for those. You could talk about maybe some initial resistance from the workers, or maybe you had to get creative because of the site conditions.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can really come in handy. You can actually practice these answers and get feedback tailored to the specific company you're interviewing with.
Oh, wow. So it's not just generic advice. It's really specific to the job.
Exactly. It's like having a personalized interview prep tool. All right, so another question they might ask is, describe your experience with risk assessment methodologies. This one's all about showing off your knowledge and experience.
Okay, but what if I haven't actually led a ton of risk assessments yet?
That's all right. Even if you haven't been the lead, you've probably encountered situations where risk assessment was a factor. Talk about your understanding of different methodologies, even from your studies. Mention things like hazard identification, analyzing the risks, and figuring out how to control them.
So even if I don't have a ton of practical experience, I can still demonstrate that I understand the process.
Absolutely. And you know what else helps? Name dropping some specific software like PHA Pro or Bodhi XP, it shows you're in the loop.
Oh, that's a good tip. It shows you're keeping up with industry standards. Okay, hit me with another question.
Okay, this one's a little trickier. How would you handle a situation where a worker is refusing to follow safety procedures? This is about balancing being firm, but also maintaining a positive work environment.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's not just about knowing the rules, it's about getting people on board.
Exactly. So start by explaining, why those procedures exist and the potential consequences if they're ignored. Try to understand their concerns. Is there a way to address them while still keeping everyone safe?
So it's kind of like finding that middle ground.
Yeah. And again, RoleCatcher's AI can be super helpful here. It can analyze your responses and give you tips on how to strike that balance in your language.
Wow, the AI is really like having a safety expert in your corner.
I know, right? It's pretty amazing. Okay, so let's move on to another tricky question. Tell me about a time you had to deliver bad news or negative feedback related to safety. This one's all about how you handle those sensitive situations and your communication skills.
Oh, that's a hard one. Yeah. So how do you deliver that kind of news without, making things worse?
Yeah, you have to be direct, but also empathetic.
Yeah.
Clearly state the issue, explain the potential consequences, but also acknowledge their feelings and their perspective.
So it's about being honest, but also understanding.
Exactly. Focus on finding a solution together and moving forward in a positive way.
I like that. Okay, what else do they like to ask?
All right, how about this one? Describe a time you had to influence others to adopt safer work practices. This is where they're looking for leadership qualities and strong communication skills.
Okay, so how do you really knock this one out of the park?
Think of a specific example where you successfully encouraged someone or a group to adopt safer practices. Maybe you spotted a hazard and convinced a team to try a new protocol.
Okay, I can think of a few examples like that.
Great. So walk them through your approach. Did you use data to back up your points? Did you appeal to their sense of responsibility, or did you involve them in finding the solution?
So it's about showing that you can be proactive and persuasive.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher can actually give you feedback on how to tailor your response to the specific company culture, highlighting the leadership style they value.
Wow, that's so cool. It's like getting insider information.
It is. It's all about giving you that extra edge. All right, ready for another one?
Absolutely. This is great. I feel way more prepared already.
Awesome. All right, so here's one that digs a little deeper. Imagine you're called to a scene where an accident has just occurred. What are the very first steps you take?
Oh, that's a classic scenario question.
It is. It's all about testing your ability to think clearly, prioritize, and take charge under pressure.
Okay, so walk me through it. What would you do?
First things first. You have to make sure the scene is safe for you to enter. Check for any hazards, like spills, fires, electrical dangers, anything like that. Then you assess the situation.
Okay, so safety first.
Always. Then you figure out, are there any injuries? Are there any ongoing hazards that need to be addressed immediately? You have to prioritize based on the severity of the situation and the potential risks.
So it's like triage, but for safety?
Exactly. Then you got to figure out if anyone needs immediate medical attention, address those immediate hazards, and start gathering information.
Oh, wow. That's a lot to remember.
It is. And don't forget to mention that you would notify the appropriate people. Emergency services, your supervisor, or a designated safety representative.
Okay, so it's about taking charge, but also knowing who to contact.
Right. And RoleCatcher's AI can actually analyze your response to this type of question and offer tips on how to structure it effectively. Maybe even suggest some industry-specific protocols you could mention.
So the AI is like that little voice in your head reminding you of the key details.
Exactly. It's all about helping you craft the best possible answers. Let's move on to another question that focuses on problem solving. How about, tell me about a time you had to find a creative solution to a safety challenge.
Ooh, I like this one. You get to show off how you think outside the box.
Exactly. Think of a time where you faced a challenge and there wasn't an obvious solution. Maybe you designed a new safety device, or you found a way to improve safety procedures in a really tricky environment.
I'm sure everyone in this field has a story like that.
Yeah, so walk them through your process. How did you approach the problem? What different options did you consider?
So it's about showing your analytical skills and how you arrive at a solution.
Exactly. And highlight those creative elements. What made your solution unique? How did you go above and beyond? And of course, don't forget about the results. Did it reduce accidents? Did it boost morale? Did it maybe even save the company some money?
It's all about having a success story to share.
Right. All right, so now let's talk about teamwork. How about describe a time you had to collaborate with a team to implement a safety program?
Teamwork. That's a big one.
It is. They want to see your communication skills and how you work with others towards a common goal.
Right, because safety is rarely a solo effort.
Exactly. So think of a specific project where you were part of a team that successfully implemented a safety program. What was your role? What were your responsibilities? What challenges did you face as a team? And how did you overcome them?
So it's about showing that you can contribute to a team and get things done.
Absolutely. And highlight your communication skills.
Yeah.
How did you keep everyone informed? How did you resolve conflicts? And how did you make sure everyone was on the same page?
So it's about showing that you can not only work in a team, but also lead a team.
Exactly. And of course, what were the positive results of your teamwork? Did you successfully implement the program? Did it have a positive impact on safety? You want to end on a high note?
This is all so helpful. It's like we're cracking the code of the interview.
I know, right? It's all about being prepared. All right, ready for one more question? This one's a little intense.
If you hit me with it.
All right, how about describe a situation where you had to make a really tough decision related to safety, even if it meant going against the wishes of a supervisor or a client. They want to see your integrity and that you're committed to safety above all else.
Oh, wow. That is a tough one.
Yeah.
It's about standing your ground and doing what's right, even when it's hard.
Exactly. Think about a time when you had to make a really difficult call. Maybe you had to halt a project because of safety concerns, or you had to refuse a client's request that violated safety regulations.
Okay, so you're saying I should have a specific example in mind.
Yes. It really helps to paint a clear picture. Walk them through your decision-making process. What factors did you consider? What were the potential consequences of each choice? How did you communicate your decision? How did you handle any pushback?
So it's about showing that you can make tough calls and stick to your principles.
Exactly. And most importantly, what were the positive outcomes of your decision? Did it improve safety? Did it prevent an accident? Or did it earn you respect for your integrity?
So it's about having a story with a good ending.
Exactly. And don't forget, RoleCatcher can help you refine these stories for maximum impact. It's like having a personal interview coach right in your pocket.
This is all incredibly valuable. But before we move on, I'm curious. We've talked a lot about the interview itself, but what about the bigger picture? What does a career path in health and safety engineering actually look like?
Ah, that's where the RoleCatcher Career Guide comes in.
Perfect timing. I was just about to ask about that.
Yeah, it's awesome. It outlines all sorts of paths you could take. You could move into a senior engineering role, tackle more complex projects, and take on more responsibility.
So you'd be like the ultimate safety guru.
Exactly. Or you could transition into a management position, lead a team of engineers, and oversee those safety programs for the whole organization.
That sounds like a great way to make a real impact on workplace safety.
It is. And if you have a real passion for a specific area like ergonomics or hazardous materials or risk assessment, you could specialize and become like a sought-after expert in that niche.
Oh, wow. So many options. It's like choosing your own adventure in the world of safety.
It really is. And no matter what path you choose, continuous learning is key. The Career Guide really stresses that staying up to date on all those regulations, industry trends, new technologies, that's crucial for career growth.
That makes sense. The field's always evolving,
Oh,
right? So you have to keep learning and growing to stay ahead of the game. Okay, but let's get back to those interview questions. Are there any other curveballs they might throw our way?
Oh, you bet. There are always more curveballs. They might ask something like, what are some emerging trends in health and safety that you're really excited about? They want to see that you're forward-thinking and, staying informed about the future of the field.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's not just about what you know now, but where the field is headed.
Exactly. So think about things like the advancements in wearable technology, the use of AI in safety monitoring, or that growing emphasis on mental health in the workplace.
So it's about doing your research and showing that you're interested in the big picture, not just the day-to-day tasks.
Right, you got it.
Okay.
So here's one that can really make you stand out. If you could implement one new safety initiative at our company, what would it be and why?
Oh, that's a chance to shine.
It is. It's your chance to show off your proactive thinking and your understanding of their specific needs.
So how do you approach a question like that?
Do your homework on the company beforehand. Look for clues in the job description on their website or any recent news articles about their safety culture or any challenges they might be facing.
So it's about tailoring your answer to their specific context.
Exactly. It shows you've done your research and that you're thinking about their needs.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So propose an initiative that's relevant to their industry or their specific concerns. Maybe it's implementing a new training program, investing in a particular safety technology, or launching a company-wide awareness campaign.
So many possibilities.
I know. Whatever you choose, make sure you can clearly articulate the benefits and how it would improve safety for everyone.
It's not just about having a great idea. It's about showing that you've thought about how to apply it to their situation.
Exactly. And you know what? RoleCatcher's AI can help you refine that pitch. Yeah, it's amazing. It can analyze the company's values and priorities, suggest ways to align your initiative with their goals, and even offer tips on how to present it in a clear, concise, and persuasive way.
Wow, that's like having a personal PR team for your safety ideas.
I know, right? It's pretty cool. Okay, are you ready for one final question?
Absolutely. Let's hear it.
All right, this one's all about you. Why are you passionate about health and safety? This is where you connect on a personal level and let your enthusiasm shine through.
Ooh, that's a good one. It's more about who you are than what you know.
It is. Think about what drew you to this field in the first place. Was it a personal experience? A desire to help others? A fascination with safety engineering principles? Whatever it is, let that passion show.
I love that. It's about showing them that you're not just in it for a job.
Yeah.
You're in it to make a real difference.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher can actually help you articulate that passion in a way that resonates with the company culture.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, it can analyze their mission statement and values and suggest ways to connect your personal story to their overall goals.
That's incredible. Okay, I feel like we've covered so much ground today.
We have. We've talked about understanding the core skills and responsibilities, tackling those tough interview questions. And of course, we explored how RoleCatcher's AI-powered tools can give you that extra advantage in a competitive job market.
It's like we've given our listeners a secret weapon.
Exactly. But beyond the interview itself, we also talked about what a fulfilling career in health and safety looks like and all the different paths you can take to really make an impact.
Yeah, it's not just about getting the job. It's about thriving in your career and becoming a leader in workplace safety.
You got it. So for someone prepping for a health and safety engineer interview, what would you say is the biggest takeaway from today?
Hmm, that's a good question. I would say it's that you're not just walking into that interview prepared. You're walking in with an insider's perspective. You understand the true essence of this role, how to stand out from the competition, and how to confidently tackle those challenging interview questions.
I love that. And I think I'd add one more thing. How can you use all this knowledge, not just to land the job, but to truly excel in it and become a leader in workplace safety?
That's the real challenge and the real reward.
It is. It's about taking all these insights and using them to make a tangible difference in the world, to protect people from harm,
Yeah.
and create a work environment where everyone can go home safe and sound at the end of each day.
That's an incredibly inspiring mission. And with the knowledge and tools we've explored today, you're well equipped to achieve it. Best of luck with your interview and with your future in health and safety.
Best of luck. So are you ready for another question? This one really gets into, staying current in the field.
Okay, yeah, hit me.
They might ask something like, what steps do you take to stay informed about the current health and safety regulations and industry best practices? They're really trying to see your commitment to continuous learning.
Yeah, that makes sense. Things change so fast in this field. You gotta stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly. Mention professional organizations you belong to, like maybe the American Society of Safety Professionals,
Yeah.
or certifications you're pursuing, like the Certified Safety Professional, that's CSP.
Right.
You can talk about industry publications, you read conferences, you attend maybe even online forums you follow. It all shows that you're dedicated to professional development.
It's all about showing them that you're proactive and that you're really invested in this field.
For sure. All right, so how about this one? Imagine you're called to a scene where an accident has just occurred. What are the first steps you would take?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
It's a classic.
Mhm.
They're trying to see how you assess, prioritize, and take charge under pressure.
Okay, so what would you do? Like, walk me through it.
First, you got to make sure the scene is safe for you to even enter, check for hazards, spills, fires, electrical dangers, anything like that.
Okay, so safety first. All good.
Absolutely. Then you assess the situation. Are there injuries? Are there ongoing hazards? You got to prioritize based on the severity and the potential risks.
So it's like a safety triage?
Exactly. Determine if anyone needs immediate medical attention. Address any immediate hazards, and then start gathering information about the incident.
Okay, so like who's involved, what happened, what factors might have contributed.
Right. All of that. And don't forget to mention that you would notify the right people. Emergency services, your supervisor, whoever's the designated safety representative.
Okay, so taking charge, but also knowing who to contact.
Right. And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can be really helpful. It can analyze your response and give you tips on how to structure it effectively, maybe even suggest some industry-specific protocols you should mention.
Wow, so the AI is like having a safety expert in your pocket.
I know, right? It's pretty amazing.
Huh.
Okay, let's move on to another question that focuses on problem solving. How about this one? Tell me about a time you had to find a creative solution to a safety challenge.
I like these kinds of questions. You get to show off how you think outside the box.
Exactly. Think of a time when you faced a challenge and there wasn't an easy answer. Maybe you designed a new safety device, or you improved safety procedures in a really tricky environment.
Okay, I can see that happening a lot in this field.
Right. So walk them through your process. How did you approach the problem? What options did you consider? What made your solution unique? How did you go above and beyond?
And of course, what were the results?
Mm-hmm.
Did you reduce accidents,
Mm-hmm.
boost morale, maybe save the company some money?
Exactly. It's all about that positive outcome. All right, so now let's shift gears and talk about teamwork. How about describe a time you had to collaborate with a team to implement a safety program?
Teamwork's huge, especially in safety.
Absolutely. They want to see those communication skills and how you work with others towards a common goal.
Yeah, because in safety, you're rarely working alone.
Right. So think about a specific project where you were part of a team that successfully implemented a safety program. What was your role in the team? What were your responsibilities? What challenges did you face, and how did you overcome them as a team?
Okay, so highlighting those team dynamics.
Exactly. And highlight your communication skills. How did you keep everyone in the loop? How did you resolve those inevitable conflicts and make sure everyone was on the same page? And of course, what were the positive results of all that teamwork? Did you successfully implement the program? Did it have a positive impact on safety?
It's all about having a success story to tell.
Right. All right, one more question. This one's a little bit more intense.
Okay, bring it on.
All right. How about this? Describe a situation where you had to make a really difficult decision related to safety, even if it meant going against the wishes of a supervisor or even a client.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It is.
Yeah.
They're really looking for integrity here. They want to see that you're committed to safety above all else.
So standing your ground even when it's hard.
Exactly. Have a specific example in mind. Maybe you had to halt a project due to a safety concern, or you had to refuse a client's request that would have violated safety regulations.
So having a story ready to go.
Yeah. Walk them through your decision-making process. What factors did you consider? What were the potential consequences of each choice? How did you communicate your decision? How did you handle pushback?
Right. Because there's always going to be pushback in those situations.
Always. And most importantly, what were the positive outcomes of your decision? Did it improve safety? Did it prevent an accident? Did it earn you respect for your integrity? You want to end on a positive note.
It's all about showing them that you can make the tough calls and stick to your principles even under pressure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? RoleCatcher can actually help you refine these stories for maximum impact.
Oh, really?
It's like having a personal interview coach right there in your pocket. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of tough questions. What else do they like to ask? It's really like having a coach in your pocket. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of those tough questions. But what else might they ask?
Yeah, I'm ready for more.
All right, how about this one? What are some emerging trends in health and safety that you're excited about?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, they want to see that you're, thinking ahead and you're informed about the future of the field.
Right. It's not just about what's happening now. It's about where things are going.
Exactly. Think about things like advancements in wearable technology, the use of AI in safety, monitoring that growing emphasis on mental health in the workplace, all that kind of stuff.
So it's about doing your research and showing them that you're, interested in the big picture.
Yeah.
Not just focused on the day-to-day tasks.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got it. Okay, so here's one that can really make you stand out. If you could implement one new safety initiative at our company, what would it be and why?
Oh, that's a chance to really shine.
It is. It's your opportunity to showcase your proactive thinking and your understanding of their specific needs.
Okay, so how do you approach a question like that?
Well, do your homework on the company beforehand. Look for clues in the job description, their website, recent news articles, anything about their safety culture or challenges they might be facing.
So tailoring your answer to their specific context.
Exactly. It shows that you've done your research and you're thinking about their needs. So propose an initiative that's relevant to their industry or their specific concerns. Maybe it's implementing a new training program, investing in a particular safety technology, or launching a company-wide awareness campaign.
Yeah, lots of options.
Right. Whatever you choose, make sure you can clearly explain the benefits and how it would improve safety for everyone.
So it's not enough to just have a good idea. You have to show how it would actually work in their company.
Exactly. And guess what? RoleCatcher's AI can actually help you refine that pitch.
No way.
Yeah, it's amazing. It can analyze the company's values and priorities, suggest ways to align your initiative with their goals, and even offer tips on how to present it in a clear, concise, and persuasive way.
Wow, that's like having a personal PR team for your safety ideas.
I know, right? Okay, are you ready for one last question? This one's a little different.
Okay, yeah, hit me.
They might ask you, why are you passionate about health and safety?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, this is where you connect with them on a personal level and really let your enthusiasm shine through.
It's more about who you are than what you know.
Exactly. Think about what drew you to this field in the first place. Was it a personal experience, a desire to help others, maybe a fascination with those safety engineering principles? Whatever it is, let that passion come out.
I love that. It's about showing them that you're not just there for a paycheck. You genuinely care about making a difference.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher can even help you articulate that passion in a way that really resonates with the company culture.
Oh, wow. How does it do that?
It's pretty cool. It analyzes their mission statement, their values, and suggests ways to connect your personal story to their overall goals.
That's amazing. Okay. I feel like we've really covered everything today.
I think so too. We talked about, those core skills and responsibilities, how to answer those tough interview questions. And of course, we explored how RoleCatcher can give you that extra edge with those AI-powered tools.
It's like we've given our listeners a secret weapon for their interview.
Exactly. But we also went beyond the interview. We talked about what a fulfilling career in health and safety looks like and all those different paths you can take to make a real impact.
Yeah, it's not just about getting the job. It's about finding a career that you're passionate about and that allows you to make a difference.
For sure. So for someone prepping for that health and safety engineer interview, What would you say is the biggest takeaway from our deep dive today?
Hmm. I would say it's that you're not just walking into that interview prepared. You're walking in with an insider's perspective. You understand what this role is really all about, how to stand out from the competition, and how to answer those challenging questions with confidence.
I love that. And I'd add one more thing. How can you use all this knowledge to not only get the job, but to really excel in it and become a leader in workplace safety?
That's the real challenge and the real reward.
It is. It's about taking all these insights and using them to make a difference in the world, to protect people from harm, and create a work environment where everyone can go home safe at the end of the day.
That's an incredibly inspiring mission. And with the knowledge and the tools we've talked about today, our listeners are well on their way to achieving it. Best of luck with your interviews and with your future in health and safety.
Best of luck.